So what is Elite OnTrack? What we heard from a lot of parents and students is that they were not entirely satisfied or happy with what was happening with their distance learning. Now, granted, schools had to adapt to this overnight, and something like this is not easy to do, and everyone understands that. But the bottom line is we can't afford to let our students not learn, no matter what's happening in the world. And so Elite created OnTrack in response to distance learning and how schools were rolling out their virtual classrooms in a lot of very different ways. Students' education is our #1 priority. We love to see students learn, and we want to see students learn. And that's why we've created OnTrack so that we can help your students stay on track with their subject, no matter what's happening at school. And so even though there's grade inflation with classes just giving out grades because it's distance learning and they don't want to penalize students for not being in the classroom, we want to make sure that students don't just get good grades, but that they're actually learning what they need to learn. It's going to be harder than ever for colleges to know, like, is your A really reflective of what you've learned in your class? And that's why it is so important. It is so important, students, as you're watching this and listening to this, that you really take your AP exams and your subject tests even more seriously this year than ever before. Colleges, as much as they may or may not want to admit it, they're going to be looking at these scores very closely. Let your AP exam scores do the talking for you. If you are able to show them a 4 or a 5 on your AP exam score, if you're able to show them a high 700 or 800 on your subject test, then colleges don't need to question the validity of your grades. Your scores will speak for themselves. So OnTrack is here to make sure that you are going to do the very best on those crucial AP exams and subject tests. We've planned out a very carefully curated, comprehensive 24-week syllabus for each of your AP classes. And we're going to make sure that you learn everything over the course of those 24 weeks. And so we're going to do that with live, interactive, lecture-based classes. So each week, you're going to have 3 hours of live lecture for that subject. So if you're taking, for example, AP Calculus AB at school, you're going to have 3 hours of live AP Calculus AB lecture and teacher interaction through Elite OnTrack. And this is going to happen in a small class setting. Even though your classes at school may be 30 to 35 students strong, with Elite OnTrack, we're capping our classes at 12. And that's because we want to give our students the ability to ask questions, engage with the teacher. Feel free to stop the class and say, hey, can you explain that one more time? In a 30, 40 person class, that's going to be a lot harder to do. But with our ultra small classes, we're confident that you're going to have the ability to ask those questions and get the answers that you need. And we're also having a carefully curated curriculum, as we explained. So, for example, this is our AP US History course. We've carefully looked at what is going to be on the College Board's AP US History exam, and how can we divide that material in a thoughtful and meaningful way over the course of these 24 weeks, starting in September. And so this comprehensive curriculum is going to get you prepared for the AP exam and make sure that you learn everything that you need to know. And on top of that, we have weekly AP style assessments. One of the things that we hear from students all the time is that their school class doesn't start going into AP exam prep until sometimes just weeks or a month before the AP exams in May. We don't think that's sufficient. We don't want you to see a document-based question or a free response question or how to answer a complex AP biology lab with shifting variables for the first time a month before the exam. We're going to be showing you that content on a weekly basis. But keep in mind, this is not going to be a full-on practice test per week. That's not productive. We want to make sure that you're learning, mainly learning what you need to know through live lecture, hours of live lecture each week. But of course, we want to introduce to you AP style assessments to make sure that you're comfortable with the format of the questions as well as the content. Because we want to make sure that you're actually following along with what we're teaching you. So this is a state-of-the-art platform that we've licensed with one of our curriculum partners. And so we're able to have AP style, AP standard questions that we're bringing to you and testing you on a weekly basis. And each of these questions have very thorough explanatory answers. So even after the class, you can go back and review the ones you got wrong and see why you got it wrong and learn from your mistakes. So we're very, very excited to be bringing you this program, as well as the progress tracking that we're going to be able to offer through our student and parent portal. And so OnTrack is the biggest, newest program that Elite is going to be offering this fall. We are super excited to be sharing this with you. We know that with distance learning at school, there's so many unknowns, but with Elite, you don't have to worry about that. We are going to take care of you. We're going to keep you on track, making sure that you're going to be on pace to get top scores on your AP exams, as well as to be fully prepared for the subjects and the materials that you need to know for these classes.